grew up on a farm, and my dad and mom, of course, could not afford college. And that was the end of the discussion. There was a neighbor that was very interested in what I was doing, and she was also president of our local bank, and she and her husband insisted that I go to college someplace. I had started repairing radios and televisions during school, and even a little bit of the bank's security system at that time. So I think they saw the talent in me and said, you know, this really can't go to waste. They suggested Cleveland State. I didn't know anything about it. One day, Mr. Roberts, the neighbor, told me he was taking me to Fenn College to enroll. Now that was a real surprise to me, and that was that. Through the co-op program, I was able to actually earn enough money to pay my entire way through college. I lived always on the 11th floor because it was very quiet. The end of the 11th floor was an apartment where the tower dorm director lived. One time, the chemical students decided they were going to pull a prank on her. They mixed up a concoction that would explode when you put pressure on it. And they put it in her door lock, in all of our door locks in fact, and on the floor. When people were entering their little rooms and so forth, the explosions occurred. The house mother, as we called her, heard the explosions, came out, and of course she stepped on a puddle in front of her door and a loud explosion went off. She was so frightened she came running into our room. That really wasn't a very funny prank, and I felt sorry for her, but it was certainly memorable. During my time at NASA, I continued my part-time work that I started when I was younger of servicing electronic equipment and installing PA systems and so forth. I continued that with NASA's approval, and that business grew so that in 1972 I left NASA to start my own business. My wife and I incorporated Danmark Company to pursue that endeavor. You know, Cleveland State University came from Fenn College, and I think it still holds the traditions of Fenn, which to me are so important. And that's why we support Cleveland State. I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Roberts for the insight that they had in taking me to Fenn College. And I would also like to thank my wife, Margaret, for the 100% support that she's given me through all this time.